I've honestly been cussing since elementary school. I don't think I know how not to anymore. Be advised. Hey y'all, I'm Jenn. I'm from Oakland, and I'm an androgynous, Black lesbian feminist and a lover of all Black people.
This is Daren. I'm an asexual novelist, researcher, and bona fide comic book fanatic from the widest part of Southern California.
Orange County. We're queer millennials with 3 kids and nearly 20 years of marriage.
This is a podcast about the realities of Blackness, adulting, and relationships.
This is That Black Couple. You ready?
I'm ready.
Am I ready?
You're always ready.
Listen, I feel like this episode is going to be low-key embarrassing, so I don't think I'm ready. But okay, whatever, we're here.
It's, we're being real. We're being transparent.
Oh, yay. This is season 4, episode 10 of That Black Couple. I am nervous. And today what we're talking about is kind of a look back at all of May, right? To talk about what happened last month.
Like a debrief.
Actually, it's still May.
Yeah, it's still May. It's the end. It's the tippity top.
Okay. So
tail
it's
end.
May Mental Health Awareness Month debrief. How did we measure up?
I like it.
Okay. Well, this is Jenn.
This is Daren.
Episode 10 of That Black Couple. I would like you all to grab some water.
That's the beverage for the month.
And also, I have orange juice too, because I always drink multiple things.
And I have no beverages.
So that's the first little tick mark on the bad side for Daren, just so we know. We're talking about how we measure up in May, and Daren wasn't drinking his water. So have a seat. This is That Black Couple. I'm Jenn.
I'm Daren.
Before you get started, make sure you follow us on Twitter and Instagram at That BOK Couple, on Facebook at That Black Couple, and look us up on the internet at www.thatblackcouple.com.
As I remind you, at the front of every episode, you can find us anywhere where podcasts are streamed. That means Google Podcasts, it means Apple Podcasts, it means Spotify, it means Amazon Music, it means Stitcher, SoundCloud, Audible, Pandora. We're all over the place. So if you're trying to listen to us wherever you like to listen to podcasts, we're there and you can listen to us there.
Yay! You made it through that.
I did.
You did?
I did.
Okay.
I mean, the hydration helped because it's a lot of words. It's a lot to say. And I would be remiss if I did not also remind all of our listeners that you want to join that Patreon.
Yes.
Because the Patreon is where you get the extra shit.
Yeah, like the bonus episode that we're going to record on Little Mermaid.
Yes, that one. So if you want to hear how we feel about Little Mermaid and all the talk that's been going around about the movie,
that's where you find it.
Find it on the Patreon.
Okay, so let's get started on this week's episode. So really, we are looking back over the course of May, which was Mental Health Awareness Month, and being honest about what we did and what we did not do.
Yes, and to be fair, May is always a terribly difficult month for us.
Yes. Because
we decided to stack up everything into
one month.
No.
First of all, nobody told you to be born in May. So.
Listen, see, that was the baseline. We started.
You could have been an April Taurus.
My birthday never moved. So at the genesis of you and I, my birth date was there, and square in the middle of June.
All I'm saying is that before you were born, graduations existed, and you didn't have to pick the month that had all the graduations in it. That was the starting point. And you also chose May, which is a wonderful month, full of springtime and flowers. And you said, I'm going to get born just between the graduations and the springtime flower stuff that pops off in May.
And the Mother's Days.
Look at that. I didn't even count that one.
And then you were like, it would be really great. It would be the best thing ever if we got married in May too.
I don't think I came up with that.
I think the date was you.
If I just receipts. Actually, what happened is that I told you I liked you in December of 2002, and you waited conveniently for 5 months and did not even say how you felt about me. And what happened is on May 25th...
I said I loved you.
You actually said you loved me before I told you I liked you, and you said it on accident.
So we're saying...
Because it was an accident. You want to go through that? You were sitting in a room and realized that you loved me, and I said, what? And then you were like, like a friend, okay?
Accident or not, I said
you said
it's in the history books, okay?
You said, like a friend, and I was like, I was done. So anyway, you waited until May 25th when we were out after church with your cousin and all the peoples at your church to tell me, oh yeah, why aren't we together? And I almost punched you directly in your throat. So we would not even be together if it were not for your sister, my sister-in-law now, who said, what are y'all doing? Why y'all not together? So again, I didn't even choose that day. That was on you too. That was on you too. Because receipts exist.
But we didn't have to get married that month.
And when did we get married, Daren?
May 27th.
Which is what days after, or the day we started dating? How many days after the day we started dating?
I don't remember. What day we started dating?
25th?
It was 2 days?
Look at you.
It was 2 days?
Yes, it was 2 days. So the 25th is our actual anniversary of our relationship. The 27th
that's right.
is the anniversary of our wedding.
That's right. You got it right.
Okay, so our wedding date was chosen based on when we got together. So still.
But it didn't have to be like that, right?
No.
We could have chosen another date.
Oh, sure.
We could have chosen another month.
We absolutely could have.
We could have chosen to not graduate from college.
And get married 2 weeks
later. Move
later.
in and then get married all within 2 weeks.
Yeah, but you're not going to say I chose it. Anyway.
Didn't you?
So my point being, May is awful because Daren likes May. And
May's a great month.
And I like Daren. And so therefore, May's terrible.
The point of it all is every year,
yes,
when May comes around,
yes,
we get scared.
And everything, and it's like we're juggling are we juggling balls or plates? Spinning plates.
You're spinning the plates.
We're spinning all the plates and juggling all the balls.
There we go.
And then all of a sudden the plates and the balls go crashing to the ground in May. However, I don't think it was that bad this year.
I
think we
how many days we have left in this month?
We're almost out.
2 days.
We're almost out.
It's been a May. It's been a May. But we made it.
Yeah, and so in the conversation, we're gonna just tell y'all everything that happened, and we're gonna talk about the fact that we just had a 20-year anniversary.
20 years together.
17 years married. 2 days from that date.
I already told you.
You selected.
I already told you won the quiz. You know what the prize is?
Don't do me.
What?
Don't give me no damn prize. There better not be no Twizzlers.
Do you know what the prize is?
No.
Me.
Oh my God.
It's the best prize.
Let's move to the conversation. Because I cannot.
This podcast is supported by generous donations from our patrons and listeners. Become a supporter today by heading to www.patreon.com/colorcombosmedia.
You can stream the show on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, and SoundCloud. When you listen, please consider hitting that heart button, sharing, giving us a 5-star rating, and leaving some dope comments. This helps us with our page rankings and gets more listeners for the show. Thank you so much.
All right, let's go. Let's do this.
Okay, so it's really important that we talk about mental health awareness in the month of May, but also the entire year, right?
Yes.
Something I've been hearing a lot, and this is kind of what brought us to the episode. I've heard from a lot of people that the transition from 2022 into 2023 was not a smooth transition. A lot of Black folks that I talked to have said that their jobs are, trying to extract more labor, trying to get everyone to come back into the workplace, into the office, kind of peeling back a lot of the protections and everything that we had during COVID-19 at its peak in 2021 and 2020. And I think folks are really struggling. Like, people are having a hard time. I've been seeing it more, I think, on social media. I know in my own social groups and connections and networks, people have said, like, especially in academia, it's been rough. It's been rough. And unfortunately, that typically comes to the head at the end of a season. And May is like a natural end because it's the end of the semester. And so much happens with, Mother's Day and birthdays and graduations. And May becomes one of those months where you're just going. Like, you're just going. And after you've been doing that already since January, February, March, April, May feels like, everything's crashing down.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I felt for most of the month. That's how I felt for most of the month. And sometimes it feels kind of like hypocritical to get on here and talk about mental health awareness and all this stuff and self-care. And then I'm not sleeping, and I'm not eating right, and I'm not exercising, and I'm not taking care of myself.
Oh, I know the feeling.
So let's talk about it, Darren. How did you experience May?
Pretty much just like that. Like, I just felt like we're just going to hold it together. We're just going to hold it like this, just hold it super tight, and then hope we just make it to the end. And that's really what it felt like. I feel like every day was a fight. I feel like I was scratching and clawing to make it through. Was I getting the correct amount of sleep? No, I was not. Was I eating all the foods that I should have been eating? No, I was not. Was my work-life balance anywhere near equilibrium? Hell to the motherfucking no, it was not.
I don't even think that's real. I don't even think work-life imbalance can be in that sequence like that.
I mean, the thing is, it can't really be imbalanced, but it's supposed to try to, like, be around, like I said, somewhere near equilibrium.
Yeah, they're supposed to try.
It's like the scales of justice, like it's supposed to be even, but then some reason it's always like way skewed like off
work,
one side to the
bitch,
other.
I said work. Work.
What was that? The whiz on.
Work.
That's what it felt like.
That's
what May has been like. And this was a very interesting month because, again, my birthday's this month.
Yes.
I also graduated from the new school with my Master's of Fine Arts in Creative Writing this month.
Yes. And how many days apart was that from your birthday?
One. That was 1 day apart.
Yes.
Forget two. We're doing one.
No, we just tightened it up now. But fuck it. Who cares?
And so we said, you know what we should do to celebrate? We should take our whole family to New York City for a week.
Including the puppy.
Including our puppy. That's what we should do. We should go to New York City for a week to celebrate my birthday and go to my graduation all at the same time. Again, we're managing that with 3 kids. So that's 3 different schools.
Yes.
With 3 different lists of assignments and things that they need to keep track of and stay on top of.
Yes.
While that's the other thing. I forgot all about this too.
What?
Because then our son, who was so smart and so brilliant, had to do an AP test in the midst of that.
Yes. So
we went from AP test to trip to birthday, graduation to home.
Yes.
All within the span of a week.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's what May was like for me. That was my May.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like.
And honestly, and I feel like it was important for us to, share some of that because, the podcast been slipping and sliding and it was on the dates and then it was off the dates, right?
I think it's really funny because last month we were like, oh yeah.
Yeah, we're on,
we
man.
Every 2 weeks.
Okay, boom. April, bound. Yep.
And then May
was like, hey, hold my beer. She has arrived.
Let me get to work.
Yeah. So, I think part of this is to say, like, if that ever happens, that's probably what's going on, right? It's like if folks are missing deadlines, if folks are coming in later or kind of just out of their normal routine or not showing up in ways that they typically do, something's probably going on. Mm-hmm. Like, they're probably overwhelmed. They've probably got some type of disruption that has taken them off of their schedule or what is reliable in their lives. And I think, one thing I do appreciate about us is that when it gets like that, we're just like, well, no, we're not going to do it. Like, it's not going to happen. We're not finna force ourselves to record a podcast when we don't have it to even, like, stay awake. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's time to, chill, we're going to chill. You know what I'm saying?
And I think for me personally, like, I'm someone who likes systems.
Yeah.
I like operations and systems and equations and flowcharts to manage all of the hectic chaos of the world. And one thing that you always talk about is that capitalism expects people to be machines.
That's it.
And that same propensity that I have for systems builds in the inherent belief that people are machines.
That's it.
And that they will operate in certain ways based upon certain inputs and outputs. Right.
That's it.
And May, I feel like every year just laughs in the face of that and says, I don't care what you do. I don't care what you put in place. I don't care what you said. We're doing our own thing. And I think it's also a good point to reflect on that and say, like you said, if something does seem off, if someone does get off schedule, don't expect someone to be a machine. Like, inquire first and say, hey, you were doing things one way.
You good?
And it changed. What happened?
Right.
Like, don't jump to, oh, this person's lazy, or they don't care, or they're slacking, or whatever the negative thought, which is almost, I think, where we all go first. Comes. Check in first.
And I think to extend that, it's absolutely check in. Don't jump to something malicious or judgment or character assassination, but also recognize like capitalism as it functions harms marginalized people first and most frequently.
Yes.
So it's not even just like offering them like a blanket grace. It's also recognizing that for some people, their day-to-day ordinary lives, require so much more energy than those of us who sit at situations and positions of privilege, It's also offering grace to yourself and others, And it's a really delicate thing, because I think we're socialized to think aggressively and think in ways that assumes that everyone is bad and that everyone is out to get us and that everyone is harmful. But I think in my experience, I think that actually when it's folks of color, when it's disabled folks, when it's queer and trans folks, when it's poor and working class folks, I just haven't had that experience.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think people are hurt. I think people are traumatized. I think people are going through a lot of things. But what I don't think is that folks who are already struggling just to make sure that every day they have somewhere to sleep and eat and take care of the kids and pay the bills, I don't think they're concerned about doing nothing to you. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like, don't let capitalism also make you an ungracious person, an unaccountable person, a person who can't show up. I think it's like popular now to be like that.
I mean, yeah, in a lot of ways, it takes privilege to be malicious like that.
It does.
It takes time. It takes energy. It takes effort. It takes bandwidth, right? Like, like you said, if you out here just struggling, trying to make ends meet, trying to just do what you need to do for yourself and the people that you love, you just don't.
Ain't nobody worry about you.
You don't have it, You don't have it to be out here trying to stab someone in the back and get over all. You don't have it for that. You just don't have it.
Now, I'm not saying everybody's good and perfect and like people are flawless and that folks who are marginalized are somehow inherently like, in terms of character, unharmful. I'm not saying that. Right. There's still discernment that has to be a part of this conversation. I think what I'm just saying is like, in times where stuff is generally hard, like I'm an academic and there are people who are my colleagues and comrades who are in court right now because everything that they teach, their whole curricula is now being debated at the federal level, at the state level, and that's a different kind of burden than what I don't know what that feels like. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying like empathize with folks who are clearly in positions that you may not even understand. You know, I feel like that's a big part of mental health is like has always been hard for me is not feeling like people get it and they have expectations I just can't meet because my body can't do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even if I want to, my body's like, hey, listen, absolutely not.
And that's also part of self-care.
Right.
Being able to speak up and advocate for yourself and say, excuse me, I'm really tired and I'm overworked and I need a break.
Yes.
Like you were talking about taking your vacation days in the last episode, and I was like, I got so many vacation days banked. It's outrageous because I don't take them. Yeah. Right. But sometimes you need to be able to look at yourself and say, I need a motherfucking break.
A motherfucking break.
And it could be a day. It could be a half a day. It might need to be a week. But sometimes you got to step away. And everybody needs to step away at some point and take that break for themselves.
I agree. I think the trick is also just not feeling guilty about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I think that we're good at that at this point because we're like, fuck that. But like, I feel like in May we were like, here's what we're going to do. This is what we want to do. We want to go on these trips. We want to spend time with our kids. We want to take some time away. And we just did it. And this is like the second or third time we've done that where we're just like, we don't care. Like, I don't care about y'all schools. They'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. It's fine. They're safe. You'll be good. Like, it's like, we're good.
Well, and this is something that I've learned recently. And this is, I think, also one of the really sinister things about capitalism is it'll have you feeling like if you're not there, if you don't show up, then the system will fail.
Right.
But these systems are designed to be failure proof.
Yes.
It's like, I have to be there because if I'm not there, then I'm not the person that can do this thing, and then nothing's going to work, and then everyone's going to look at me and say, oh, it was because you had to take that vacation that everything fell apart, and now the company's gone bankrupt, and we're all out of a job.
Yes.
And that's it's so far from the truth. It's so far from the truth. Everything can slide and move. Deadlines can move. Due dates can move. People's needs can wait. That email doesn't need to be responded to today. All of these things that feel very strict, that feel very black and white, that feel very set in stone, that feel so urgent are not.
No, they're not.
They are really not.
They're not.
And I'm going to say it again because I need to hear it for myself, just like I'm sure all of y'all need to hear it too. These things are not what they seem.
They're not. They're not. They're not. They're not. The world will not end because you didn't go to work at 10 a.m.
It won't.
It won't happen that way, right? But I think it's like, you know, again, and I know this struggle, especially when I worked at Disney, the fear of being perceived as not present or not into it or not committed or not loyal. You know, people will affect your money. Like they'll affect your promotions, they'll affect your performance evaluations, and they don't have any remorse for it. There's no accountability. It's just like, you know, folks' stereotypes and biases, they can absolutely build into the structure of your daily life at work every day. So I absolutely get, this is not me saying like, you know, just walk around the world, be carefree and fuck that shit. Like, a lot of us can't help it. We have to give a fuck. Like, we have to participate in capitalism so that we can feed ourselves. We have to be part of capitalism, even when we don't want to be. But I also think that we can give ourselves breaks while we do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have to grind so much that there's nothing left.
And how ridiculous is that?
Right.
That's even the conversation we're having right now. It's like, it's okay to take a break.
Right. Right.
It's okay to not run yourself 24 hours of the day straight, and just to make yourself be perceived as a hard worker. Right. To be perceived as someone who's always present and available and reliable. Right. Right. And the other thing, this is another thing you referenced in the last episode, like, the white people ain't doing that.
They're not doing that. They're not doing that.
They definitely on vacation.
They on vacation. And they come back all like, I have a tan. I'm just as brown as you, Jen.
It's a means for you to then be more upset at work with the racist shit that they say to you.
Take your time off. Take your time off.
Just take a break.
That's it. That's all we're saying. And that's what we did in May. We took a lot of breaks. And I'm glad we did.
And I think that's one thing I want to say to kind of really close things out, is I know we did take a lot of breaks. And I myself have a big fear about breaks and what they mean for us, because a lot of times breaks mean just a different kind of work. Yeah. Like, instead of working at work, I'm just going to work on managing kids, or like managing finances, or just managing a schedule. Like, we're on vacation. I need to, every hour of the day, new activity. Like, it just becomes a different kind of work. And that's one thing I will say I'm very proud of. What we did for May is when we said we're taking a break.
We took a break.
It was just turn everything down.
Yeah, we didn't do nothing. We laid it.
What are we doing tomorrow? I don't know. We'll just figure it out when we get tomorrow.
We'll see what you want to eat. Okay, let's just look up something online. We just did it, and it was so relaxing.
It was the best thing ever.
It was so fun.
I was so confused.
I know.
I was like, what is this?
2 earth signs, and we're just like, we'll just figure it out. This is what other people do? Okay. We'll just.
It was like an alternate reality.
It was great.
And I loved it. I'm glad we did it.
Me too.
You can find my mom and dad, aka That Black Couple, on the web at thatblackcouple.com. That Black Couple is owned and operated by Color Combos Media. If you would like to help fund our content, sign up at www.patreon.com/colorcombosmedia. Please consider giving us $5 or $10 per month to help us build our platform and grow our organization. You can also give one-time donations at www.paypal.me/colorcombosmedia. All donations are welcome.
All right, you want to reflect?
Let's reflect.
You start.
Oh, you want me to reflect?
Because I started the last one.
Okay, I will reflect first. So, thinking about May, thinking about Mental Health Awareness Month, thinking about all these themes that we've been bringing up, what I'm really taking away from this month is that I don't have to be like this just this month, right? Yes. I can apply all of these things that we learned into further months. Yes. I can take more frequent breaks. Yes. I can end my workday sooner.
Yes.
I can end my workday sooner.
I want to hear it because that means it's on wax. So that means you gotta actually do it now because everybody heard you.
I didn't put no times on it.
Everybody heard you.
I just said sooner. I didn't say what that time would be.
You heard that.
I can end my workday sooner.
Don't hurt your can now.
I can.
See how you changed up?
I can drink more water on a regular interval.
Mm-hmm.
I can exercise.
Yes.
I can meditate. I can do all these things. I can make time for myself.
You can.
Not just during May.
And should.
And definitely should.
Yes.
And when I take a break, when I take a vacation, I can do a real break.
And should.
I can really step away.
Yes.
I can stop thinking about those things and think about other things.
And turn off the notifications so that when you have an emergency at work, you don't hear about it because it's not your emergency because you're not at work.
I don't know who you're talking about. I don't know. It might apply to one of our listeners. So I'm glad that you're providing that feedback and that perspective to them, because I think that it might be very enriching for their lives. That's what I think. For them. I mean, we're here for them, right? That's we are here to provide a service.
I want y'all to know that Tauruses be lying. We're gonna get him there. He's gonna turn off the notifications, y'all. It's gonna happen eventually. At some point. He's been working for 20 years and he has had notifications on his phone. Back when we had like BlackBerry technology, he didn't even have stuff that helped you to do this. And he still somehow always had notifications. I don't understand. So
I don't see it. And you know what? Actually, I take that back. Mm-hmm. I will get to a point where the notifications for work will be turned
because
off.
He's going to change his position so that he don't have to. See, do you see how he's look at those smile.
That's part of self-care.
Anyway, see, that's a loophole.
But is it inaccurate?
Anyway,
it's when you find your calling and you're in the right place.
No,
you don't need to have the notifications on.
We want you to also be working on ways to make today and tomorrow not as bad, and we're gonna work on that. And next month and the month after that,
it's a process, and with every day, I'm getting better and better.
Okay, we're gonna hold you accountable there.
I'm marching up that hill.
Okay, it's my turn.
Okay, reflect.
I did some things.
What'd you do?
I did what you ain't done. I turned on limitations on my inbox so that my students cannot email me on weekends or after 5 o'clock on weekdays. And it changed my life. I did not realize how stressful it is to get emails at 9, 10, 11, midnight, 1, 2, 3 in the morning with students who are demanding your attention. And even if you don't respond to the emails, you still feel this sense of obligation because it's your student, right? So it's like, it's really hard to just be like, I'll answer that in the morning. It's still on my mind, So it's been really wonderful to have these very set boundaries around my time. I set up my Calendly so that I only have meetings at certain times. I made sure to delegate a lot to my assistant, and it has been great. I've gotten so much writing done. I feel like my brain is clearer. I feel more creative. And that's something I've been talking about too, is like capitalism works to also just drain your creativity. Like it's all about exploiting and extracting and abusing. It's not about cultivating and nurturing, right? It's not about pouring into. It's about taking away from. And so I've been really feeling like, okay, I feel more creative. I feel more like myself. I feel like my skin feels better. My body feels better. And it's just because I've been taking myself away from these capitalistic endeavors that only seek to extract from me,
Yeah.
So that's my reflection, that I'm glad that I did those things and that I'm learning how to incorporate them into my life. Because I think that going forward, it's going to be great.
So what's your list of recs for people?
I definitely think that the boundaries with work matter. You got to turn off notifications. You got to make sure that you don't have no BlackBerry phone in your pocket that buzzes all day whenever they have an emergency. That's really important. Look at you. The other thing that was really helpful to me was taking some of my tasks that were manual and automating them. So like Calendly was really great because now students can't email me directly and go, okay, when can I meet? Thursday at 10? No, I'm not free. 11:30 maybe? Can we meet here? But there's like 90 emails you get with one student trying to set up one meeting. So now I just set up a Calendly link, and anyone who wants to meet with me, whether it be like a consultant, whether it be a colleague or comrade or a student, I say, here's my link. And I just send it. And then it just comes through. And then I just hit accept. And it's done. Like, if you can automate things in your life, do it. And then the last one is delegating. Like, there's a lot of things I don't need to be doing, right? Like, I have an assistant, thankfully. But also, like, there are things I can ask for help with, you know, from my team, my colleagues, my comrades. So there's a lot of things I've been like, hey, like, I've reached out to a couple of colleagues and my best friends and been like, hey, I got this thing and it might be something that we're doing together as a co-authorship, or I can't do that part. Do you have time to do this? Even with my teaching assistants, right? I'm like, we have some grading to do. Here's my capacity. What is your capacity? And when they say, I have more capacity, I'll take more. And I'm like, thank you, right? So I've been really trying to gauge my output based on my capacity, not based on my obligation. And when I do that, I'm able to delegate when I don't have it. But I'm also able to ask for more when I do have it. And I think that's been great.
Wow. That's a good one.
Thank you.
I'm not going to lie. That capacity one, that's really good. That was bars.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you.
I might need to...
You going to work on it?
I'm going to take that to heart.
Okay.
And see how I can apply it in my own life.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I think you can do it.
I can. Thank y'all for listening. Before you go, make sure you follow us on Twitter and Instagram at ThatBLKCouple, on Facebook at ThatBlackCouple, and look us up on the internets at www.thatblackcouple.com.
Bye.